I want to beta test the 1 or 2 maps that they will eventually have betas for.
It makes sense. Sounds like you need to beta test a helmet. I feel like we should say, or at least I should say, like, I'm a huge fan of Battlefield, but
Oh yeah, dude, I shelled so much money into the Battlefield franchise. I'm mad about it. Like, if I ever need a kidney, they owe me.
so right off the bat, why is he dressed so differently from everybody else?
Because he's the main character.
Yeah, that's gonna be your campaign guy going through all this crazy shit.
And I guess everybody in snow camo is basically like Ensign Ricky from Star Trek with like the solid red shirt.
Snow camo is a red shirt. So one thing I did hear about this is it is again supposed to be completely destructible environments. There goes Doggo. That's going to be a cool perk. But yeah, destructible environments, which is illustrated here, I hope, because if you can set up things like that to where you can pull down buildings on top of people, that's going to be pretty sick.
So what I think that's actually going to be is when you're playing something like Rush and you push to the next 2 objectives, it's probably going to open that way. Because that's how they did it in like Battlefield 3, for example. There's the map where you go through train tunnels, and the way you get to the train tunnels is a airstrike opens up a way by bombing the floor.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's actually that would be cool too.
So
Obviously gonna have a dog tag mode.
oh yeah. Now,
Oh, just knives in general. Remember, grab dog tags. So just paying homage to knifing someone and grabbing their dog
Yeah.
tags.
Oh, I forgot that about
They
Battlefield.
started
Yeah.
that back in Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
was that one? See, as soon as I
back
saw
in-
that, okay, this thing, this half-track, or not half-track, but the tracked vehicle makes me think of G.I. Joe.
A little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I swear
how
they
the
had a
other
toy
stuff?
in like the 80s, probably.
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
It's
They had a
probably
few.
the size of a Roomba. With about 1,000 different little parts in it that you could choke on, but
Yep.
as a 3-year-old, that was all you wanted. And it
Hey,
was the 80s.
we had
so
very
nobody-
refined taste at 3 years old.
Oh my
So
Knock
right
it
off
up
the
with
back,
gun
like, these cities or this city that they're in really reminds me of Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot of Battlefield 4 vibes.
I know they're gonna do gameplay next week, but man, I really wish they would have gave something.
It looks like,
Right.
I mean, this is all in-engine footage, so technically
But
this is game.
in-engine footage is a lie. In-engine footage
Oh, God,
means
yeah.
the extreme supercomputer that the
No,
game is
yeah.
built on is able to do this.
Yeah.
Because in-engine footage is what we got when Watch Dogs first got announced.
Right, and
So
that was
that-
something they could have done, but they toned it down for consoles because the consoles couldn't actually.
Well, home computers couldn't do it either.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
part right
actually
here, anyone that's actually been able to pull this off in the game, this I feel like they threw this in as kind of a little bit of an homage to them, the players.
Yeah, people
Which
do
I thought was
stupid shit
cool.
like this all the time.
Oh man, I remember the first time I saw this dude do that. I don't know who it was. If anyone knows who it is, leave their name, link, whoever it was in the comments or something, because whoever did that first and put it on video, hero, rock star status.
Yeah, and you're also the reason why that ridiculous shit just got put into this trailer.
Exactly. Without you, there would be no weird coked up Battlefield trailer right now.
Like I feel like DICE like goes to make these amazing trailers, and then some asshat at EA is forever making them put like the dumbest shit in their trailers.
Oh yeah. Well, see now the tornado thing. They said they're actually going to have live weather in the game. So randomly, yes, a tornado will pop up in the middle of a big fight, turn the tides completely.
Will they
or
pay
this
real people
geostorm.
to be as dumb as this and try and run away on? I
don't know, I
even
would
know
try
what
to
that
race it.
is.
But like, I can definitely see them trying to do what they did with. I think they tried to do it in Battlefield 1, where they tried to have a battle royale mode,
Mhm.
and then like a big stupid geostorm is what is the fog that closes in on the map.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
It would
But-
be a smart way of doing it, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what do y'all think? Like, I know this trailer seemed like it was like slamming a Monster Energy drink every second in this frickin' trailer. It was ridiculous. So what do you guys think?
So
It's been a while.
yeah.
It's a prequel to Battlefield 2142, which came out in 2006. I really hope that it has some of the goofiness that 2142 did, or rather what it did have, because that game had full-blown like RoboCop style walker mechs and shit, like big stupid mechs and all kinds of dumb tech.
Laser
Uh,
weapons.
So like I really hope that there's a lot of stuff in this that is already in development today, like that silly little robo dog actually is something that already exists.
Right.
Maybe without the little tank head.
I was
but,
gonna say I don't
well,
think
I mean,
the
that's
real
what the
one has a
extra years
turret
give us.
yet.
yeah,
you
the
know.
real one doesn't have a turret yet, but that like kind of robotics already does exist.
Right.
So I really hope they have a little fun and go outside the box a little bit with some of the weaponry and drops.
Right.
I hope
Same.
this is one of the maps. Basically, is what they're showing us.
I'm sure it
hoping.
will be.
Oh
in
yeah.
some
Having a big
capacity.
city with a little battleground in the middle of it, you guarantee that's going to be a map.
Well, I'm thinking that little battleground would be like the map. But then again, you remember like the older, or not older, but Battlefield 3 and 4, from what I remember, like the same map will get cut up and used for different game modes. Like a different piece of the map might be.
Oh yeah, have your big like 50 on 50 map. Just a little portion of that'll be like a 6 on 6 kind of deal. Yeah.
I think it was called Is it Domination?
Domination is one where you basically contest points. Rush is where there are 2 bombs that need to be planted, and then once they're both planted, more of the map will open up.
Yep. Oh
Okay.
yeah. I remember.
I can't remember because didn't they have like different names between Call of Duty and Battlefield for like the game modes?
I think there might have been a little overlap, but I really don't recall, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was called Domination, but it worked functionally the same as Domination in COD, where it was kind of just a King of the Hill style thing where you capture 2 of the 3 points, or I think in Battlefield it's 5 points. But yeah.
So what I'm meaning is, like I know that there was like a conquest mode, which is basically the 64 player map, and then there was like a either demolition or domination or something like that, which basically meant it was like the much smaller map that was I think only up to like 16 players, maybe. It would be 8x8, much smaller. No vehicles. It was mainly meant to be more of like the arena shooter style, but
Yeah.
obviously done as Battlefield, and not the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot really to react to there. I guess really until we see some sort of like a gameplay trailer, we couldn't even react much more. There are some important questions though when it comes to this game, at least the most important questions that have been answered and asked so far. One being, is it going to have a campaign? They've already said no, it won't have a campaign. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's important for games like this to have a campaign in them, or is it?
Not at all.
No.
Anymore.
This game is what it's supposed to be.
I
Yeah.
think it should have co-op missions, but it should not have a campaign. I think a campaign is honestly a waste of time nowadays.
Really?
Agreed.
Oh, I'd even say go ahead and cut out the co-op and make if this is a game clearly tailored to multiplayer PvP.
Right.
You
What
can
I will
put
give you on
in-
that is if they do entirely focus on just multiplayer, I'm also fine with that because that means that all of the love and attention goes into one place and nothing gets passed over.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what this is. This trailer is showing exactly. This is not. When I look at this trailer, I don't see anything PVE related or non-multiplayer heads up squadron play. If they want to add a story to it, then do fucking a web series as to why you're in these certain maps. I honestly, no, like seriously, I honestly like the web series better for lore in certain games than I do the lore being in the games, because if they just don't do it right, then I just don't care about it. I'll skip it. I'll skip all the way through it because I like the gameplay, but I don't care about your story because the way that you put it into the game is shit. I'd much rather you do a web series, or I'd much rather you do like a living novel or something like that, and then I'll go read it if I want to know more about why I'm doing what I'm doing in game.
So,
No, just focus
more
on the
akin to
PvP.
like Tarkov
Right,
or
'cause-
Overwatch.
Well,
Okay.
So like even Call of Duty does that, where they have a campaign mode, but then they're also doing all this other storyline that they're doing it in like video clips and stuff like that, and half the players don't fucking follow it because they're just like, hey, look, a new skin, blah blah blah. Like me, I am not going to sit there and watch a show about it. I just want to play the game. Wasn't really big on the campaign mode. Again, Call of Duty, just want to shoot people,
Okay.
So yeah, like, I mean, if for the lore mongers out there, yeah, do video, do production like that. Forget the campaign mode, because I remember early Call of Duties, you'd have to unlock certain things through campaign mode, and that pissed me off to no end because I'm like, I don't want to play the campaign.
Okay. Well, that brings me to my next question then. People have asked about it being free to play or not.
Mhm.
And there are, I guess, currently plans for both free and premium battle passes. I know that.
Yeah.
But
I've heard rumors where, like, you're going to have your season passes and stuff like that, but the core game itself, for certain, I forget if it's like the PlayStation Premium Pass or whatever it is, the EA
Game
Pass
Pass.
maybe. Yeah, the Game Passes that they offer.
EA Play?
I think that might be it.
Okay.
If you subscribe to that, then this is going to be a free game. You'll probably have to pay for season passes and stuff like that through, I'm sure, microtransactions. But I have heard rumors, so I'm not sure if you've confirmed or not, but that's the rumor mill.
I haven't. If somebody can actually check real quick. I don't
Whether or
know.
not it's going to be free?
Yeah, because like I said, they have confirmed there are going to be both free and premium versions of like a battle pass system. But as
So what I believe that's actually going to be is going to be what something like Apex Legends currently does, where there are premium passes and packages that you can acquire using an in-game currency, or you can go ahead and buy the pass or package and then get the benefits immediately.
Oh, okay. So yeah, every time they kind of do a system like that, the free version of it is such a joke in terms of progression, because obviously
Well-
they do want you to pay for it, which is understandable, but like it's so laughably out of balance that nobody in their right mind would actually still play the game.
With EA, it probably, if they didn't just get creamed for it 3 games in a row. So I think that they may try to actually make it obtainable, or at least at first obtainable, through normal play, because of what a bad reputation they've given themselves. And using Apex Legends as an example again, the content that you can either buy or acquire in-game, it is a little bit of a grind, but the grind is if you play it for maybe an hour or 2 a day or every other day, then you can absolutely get it in no time flat, like maybe a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my big question right now, so it's for pre-order right now on Steam. I'm assuming other platforms as well. So if it goes free to play and you subscribe to this thing and you have it pre-ordered, are they gonna be okay with refunding these people?
I don't believe the game will be free to play at all. I don't think the game itself will be free to play in any capacity.
Well, I mean, they're hinting, quote unquote, according to WCCFtech.com. Looking at this article, it's saying that the devs are actually hinting at free to play, as well as cross play, but we won't get into all that just yet. But free to play would be pretty big for this, especially for an EA game.
Yeah.
I don't see EA.
I don't see it either. It'd be nice,
EA is
but I
not
don't
going to
see
make
it.
a free to play game.
Well,
Not
they did
something of this nature. It will, but not something of this nature. No.
Well, I mean, they've seen that they can make quite a bit of money going with that route. I mean, with Apex Legends, because you can actually get a much larger group of people to at least try the game. I mean, look at what is it?
Well, I don't think.
Yeah, but it's not a
these-
AAA title. Like
Yeah,
it's turned into be a big phenomenon. But like this is a AAA like flagship title. I don't see it.
I don't think DICE has the capabilities to make a model similar to Apex Legends or something that's
well, what I mean
free to
is,
play and continuous and.
I don't know about that because different camos and things like that. People always love that. I mean, look at Call of Duty. What's the big battle royale? I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, they made a game mode free, but they didn't make the entire game free. You had to
Right.
pay for that for a
Yeah,
while.
there's 3
You
different
still
Call
have
of
to
Duties
buy
out
it.
right now.
Yeah, and then once they got the revenue from that, then they branched it off and said, "Well, this is free," but they then had already established their cash shop for the
Okay.
battle royale. So yeah,
What's
like
that called?
they may do something like that in the future.
Blackout?
Warzone.
Warzone. That's it. So what I'm saying
well.
is, what has been their most profitable Call of Duty? Isn't it Warzone?
Probably Black Ops 3.
I mean, I don't know the actual numbers. Somebody would actually have to look them up. I'm
We'll
just
have to
saying,
look it up. I don't
think
know.
Black Ops 3 is their most profitable.
like,
So
I mean, well, if not, like counting inflation, going back and then looking at COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 and all that shit, like maybe those are, but I don't know about all that. But I know in recent memory, Black Ops 3 was a massive success.
Okay.
Now, and that's funny too, because so I didn't find the actual profits, but I do have Statista.com has given units sold, and you said Black Ops 3 is actually 5th as far as units sold. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything about profitability. It could have blown every other one out of the water. But
Also-
the top selling one was actually the original Black Ops in 2010.
Yeah, it's also
That
with
doesn't shock me.
inflation.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
even
I
just
mean,
numbers-wise,
profitability.
yeah.
Well, I
That's-
guess units sold are units sold, right?
Right.
That would
Yeah,
have
it's
been
not
3 or
saying
4
that-
years
I mean-
into a new console generation. At that point, that would have given a lot more people a chance to kind of, enjoy Call of Duty. I'm just wondering if it might not be a better idea for them if somebody has not looked at the idea of whether or not it might be better to do an actual free-to-play, absolutely top-notch AAA version of Battlefield, but more heavily monetized, just like Warzone is. Because think about the last 3 games DICE has done. They've gone all out in terms of production cost and advertising and just really pushing the game, and then for any known number of reasons, none of them have done very well.
Well,
It all
a
agree.
lot of those decisions can't be done by DICE. Like the price points and features of the game, majority of that isn't decided by DICE.
No,
Like
that's fair.
That's decided by EA and the investors, and EA and their investors, with a product that costs as much to make as Battlefield, they wouldn't make it free to play because that means they have to hope and pray that the game does well over multiple months to recoup cost, where instead pre-orders could recoup cost.
Well,
Right. Now,
for one, it means that the
to-
game has to work out of the box.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Battlefield 1's a great example of that fucking failing.
All of them, really. Yeah,
So here's the thing, though, is there's a lot of Call of Duty players that they like Modern Warfare, Warzone, whatever. They'll play it, but they prefer having one of those like 50 on 50 matches. You know, they like the bigger scales that they do once in a great while. So I'm thinking Battlefield may be able to cash in on that opportunity, having those big fights as opposed to the smaller ones like in Modern Warfare, where you're just like quads or duos or whatever.
the arena.
That's always been the argument, right? Like
Yeah.
ever since, like, I'd say like it got most heated back in the COD 4 days, where it was, would you rather play COD 4 or would you rather play Battlefield Modern Combat?
Right.
Modern Warfare 2 and Bad Company 2.
I fucking love Bad
Weren't those at similar
Bad Company was
times?
great. Bad Company was
Modern,
great.
were
Modern
both
Warfare
phenomenal.
2 would have came out, I think, around the same time as Bad Company 1.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, Bad Company 2, I believe, if I'm, going back to my middle school days correctly and my high school days correctly, I do believe that Battlefield actually came out on a date separate, like away from Call of Duty, and made all of its money because it was in a like a deserted month.
Okay. Well, another question though that people are having, or another one of the largest questions here, is whether or not the game is going to be cross-platform or cross-play. And they've said no as of right now. So, do you guys think
Really?
that's a good idea? Bad idea? Is it really going to matter?
So, as much as I want to say I do want it to be crossplay, I really, really don't. The reason for that being, again, I play Call of Duty, and it is all super crossplay, PlayStation, Xbox, PC. The problem with that is the controller works better for certain things, and the mouse works better for other things.
Oh.
And sure, you can use a controller on PC, but you don't get the same aim assist as someone on a console gets, which is fucked up that kind of aim assist even exists in a multiplayer shooter, but I digress. So yeah, I mean, keep everybody on an equal playing field, everyone on the same console. If you're on a PC, well, put some money into it, whatever.
There's more to it than just that. There's a lot of it that is out of EA DICE's hands. There's a lot of that there's agreements that have to be met, like server side, through Microsoft, Sony, and
Oh yeah,
all
but
that.
I mean,
because
just as the general question, like, do I want it? No.
on launch, I don't think there's a 0% possibility that it will be on launch. Could it be something that they could patch in later? Yes, they absolutely can do that, because that's exactly what Killer Instinct 2013, that's what Guilty Gear Strive coming out is. They're planning to eventually patch that in, and Smite, the MOBA that's on consoles, they same thing. They eventually patched it in, but it is so goddamn hard to get that to work, and to try and get that going while completing the game before the launch window is near impossible for a lot of these developers, no matter how big or small they are.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where if they have to debug, they're better off debugging on one console at a time as opposed to 3 all going at it. Yeah.
That's what Smite did, yeah.
Yeah. So definitely valid.
I mean, would it stop any of you if they did make it cross-platform?
No.
And is that
I mean,
because
it
you're a
wouldn't.
PC
It
player?
wouldn't. Well, it's because I just really like playing those games. My desire to play it is greater than the bullshit I have to put up with.
My
because
desire to play it would actually go up with crossplay.
During his winter shooting months.
I mean, honestly, I am a seasonal player. I need like shooters in the fall and winter, and then I need RPGs in the spring and summer.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Dungeons.
Yeah.
Understandable. It's that musky smell.
Oh, believe me, in the winter I get very musky.
Yeah.
Cleaning out all those gunshot victims. Air out that dungeon.
No, I'm a big fan of like crossplay, so I hope they add it in if it doesn't launch with it. And again, allows me to be able to play with my friends that are on other consoles, so I'm all for it. We're heading in that direction more and more, and I think it's the direction we need to keep moving in. But it is very difficult to do so.
Well,
Oh yeah.
You know, the last time I remember playing a game that did it, I think it was Modern Warfare actually, and at least when I played it, which was like shortly after launch, it didn't seem like the console players were really getting stomped all that badly. Like that, or there were just enough bad PC players.
Aim assist is a great thing, my friend.
It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
is.
Like the difference in, well, it's two things. It's aim assist and the aim smoothing that a lot of companies put into their first person shooter engines when using a right stick on a controller. The acceleration that you actually get when using a controller when moving your right stick actually can have an awesome advantage.
Mhm.
Oh, because you can flick it so quickly.
Well, it's the opposite. You can flick
No,
it.
it's because your
and it
flick is
not go
controlled.
far. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what
Okay.
the way that first person shooter engines typically are built on ever since the Xbox 360 era is they put in something called acceleration, where the further you hold the stick over and the longer you hold the stick over, your speed will actually increase up to a cap. But if you just quickly flick it, and like let's say you're going from the 0 position all the way over, you just flick it, it goes right back to it, you're going to flick fast to that location, and then you're not actually going to do like a full 180 or anything, and that can actually be preferable.
Wow. So I don't know. I have always hated aiming with the anything but mouse and keyboard. Really, my aim is just beyond terrible. It's so bad. I should probably make like a video of it sometime so people can see. It'd be like watching a blooper reel of all the things you could possibly not shoot, you know, apart from the person you're shooting at. It's just terrible. Anyway, questions. Have they given a release date for the game?
No.
October.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, yeah, October 23rd says here
Yeah.
on Steam.
Yeah.
But that could be pushed back. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
The game just got announced today.
I'm
And
guessing they'll release Buggy if they have to, but they'll release right there in that
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of that end of the